Hey everyone, it's Amanda and Monica Arlumi, and we are here today with this hook-only design by our dear, sweet best friend on Instagram and on Facebook, Miss 5 Kids Cause Chaos. This is her new design called Constellation, and here are the two renditions that we have done today for the tutorial. This one is based on the name Constellation. We thought different play on blues for constellation in the sky would do good for the rendition. So this is using Liberty Blue rainbow loom bands, the glitter blue rainbow loom bands, and the limited edition blue. It's not the blue frost. It is the one the other blue, the deeper blue. So that is this one. And for this one, we added some bling in the middle. And this one is also, I decided on these colors based on this bracelet I got at Michael's. So I chose the colors white, turquoise, and the salmon color here in the middle from the pastel pack, all from Rainbow Loom. And then these little blings here in the middle that sit quite nicely, I might add, for my bracelet that I can wear along with this one as an accompaniment. And these little beads here in the middle, I will show you how they were added when we get to that portion of the bracelet. I'm not going to do a whole bracelet in showing you how to do the blinged version, because if I show you how to do one, then that's all you'll need to know how to do. So let's get started. You will need 3 different colors to do your bracelet with. Let me remove this. You'll need 3 different colors. You can do these all in one color. It will be a little harder to do, but for this tutorial we will be using 3, and if you want it to do the 3 different stitches, you will need the 3 different colors if it's going to help you out. So we will be using jumping all around, navy blue opaque, turquoise opaque, and limited edition gold. These are all the ones that we will be using in the tutorial today. And for the tutorial, or for your designs, I like the look of the limited edition in the middle. And if you have a very limited supply of limited edition, this bracelet only requires around, for an average size wrist, around 18 to 20 limited edition bands for the smile line in the middle. So if you have a very limited quantity of limited edition bands, this is one way that you can use your limited edition bands very sparingly. So go get your stuff. I will be using this hook that was sent to me by a dear friend. It is 3.5 millimeters on one end and 4.0 millimeters on the other. And this is what we will be using, or I will be using today in the tutorial. I also have this one that we've talked about quite often. This is the Clover brand, and it is 4.0 millimeters on both ends. So I would say that this is one that you could possibly do on a rainbow loom hook. Today I will be using a double-ended hook, so go get your supplies and come right back. Alright, so I'm going to start off by starting with my turquoise, and we're just going to do a double band, or not a double band, a cat band. And then I'm going to grab my navy blue, and I'm going to pull it through that cat band. And before I replace the other end, I'm going to grab one end of that cat band and then replace the other end of the navy band. So this is what yours should look like. Now I'm going to go back and grab a turquoise, and I'm going to pull both the capped turquoise over and the navy over, making sure they stay in that same order, and you're going to pull that navy back onto the hook, and then pull that other end of the turquoise onto the hook. So now we're going to scoot our bands down to the other end of the hook, and you're going to take the navy band off. You're going to replace the other end of that turquoise cap band and then replace the navy, trying to ensure that all of the bands are in the same order that they started. Get a turquoise band again. You're going to pull both the turquoise and the blue over, making sure that the turquoise stays in front of the blue. You're going to replace the turquoise and then replace the blue and then replace the turquoise. So this is what yours should look like right now. And then you're going to grab a navy, and you're going to pull the first, the second, and the fourth band, so that it's going to crisscross those two turquoise. Okay, and then you're going to reclaim that last turquoise, or that first turquoise actually, that you pulled off. Scoot it down to the other end. Grab another navy, and then you're just going to pull off the turquoise, the navy, and the turquoise that are still on there. And then you're going to replace the turquoise and replace the navy. Yours should look like this right now. Now this is where we're going to add the smile, or where on this one I have the salmon color. So we're going to use Joe's technique of going through all of the bands that we need to go through until we stop at the band that it needs to go over, and then pull the band through the other two. Alright, so we're going to pull off 4 bands, these 1, 2, 3, 4 bands onto this gold limited edition band. So 1, 2, make sure they stay in the correct order, 3, 4. Now, all we're going to want to stay on this gold limited edition band are these 2 navy bands here. So I always like to make sure that my bands stay in the correct order too, because that will create the fishtail later on. So what we're going to do is we made sure that the 2 navies are in the correct place. Now we're going to let the gold limited edition kind of slide through those 2 last bands, and then you're going to grab it with your hook before it slides through those 2 navies. I still have those 2 last bands in my hand. I'm going to replace them on to the hook. Now it is time to grab the turquoise, and with the turquoise what we're going to do is we're going to pull off these three, the navy, the turquoise, and the gold. And we're going to pull those three off onto the turquoise band. And we're going to replace the gold and the navy onto the hook. So 1 gold and 2 the navy. Then replace the other end of that turquoise. So that's how it should look on that one side. Now let's scoot it to this end. Let's do the exact same thing, making sure that the turquoise is in front of the navy. We're going to take these three, and what's going to help me also is I'm going to hold on to these 4 bands here with my index finger of my opposite hand. Doesn't matter if you're a left-handed person or a right-handed person, whatever is the opposite hand that you're using. And then I'm going to reclaim or put back on the gold and the navy. All right, now as you can see right now, my gold is in front of my turquoise. I'm just going to need to make sure that my gold goes behind my turquoise, or I will not have a correct smile line. There we go. Much better. Now, for this first one, I did not put a bling on the smile line. I didn't put a bling on this first smile line on this bracelet either. It's just too compact, I feel, to do that on the very first one. So if you're going to start putting bling on your bracelet, if you're going to use these smile lines, I would start with the second one to do that. That's just a tip. And your smile lines are the gold one in the middle. All right, we just did our turquoise color. Now it is time to do our navy color. So we're going to put the navy onto the hook, put a little tension on it. And last time we pulled off 3 bands. This time we're going to pull off 4 bands. So you're going to grab the first, second, third, and the 5th. You're skipping over that 4th. Okay? So let's go 1, 2, 3, and then grab the 5th so that they cross over. Those 2 turquoises cross over. And then you're going to reclaim this turquoise one right here. Replace the navy. All right. Let's scoot it down to the other end. And I will just keep scooching. Alrighty. Sometimes it's easier said than done when you want things to be in the correct order and they just don't want to listen. So, there we go. Okay. So now I'm going to grab another navy. I'm going to go 1, 2, let's pull that one down. 1, 2, 3, and on this side we're grabbing the 4th one. Now these got out of order, so what you need to make sure is that you go in underneath that navy and grab the turquoise. Because if you don't go underneath the navy, it won't create that nice pretty fishtail. Alright, here's where we're going to do our next smile line. But what I wanted to show you is how to do the bling on them, or how I did the bling on it. I'm sure everyone knows how we add our bling. And I'm just, for this one, I'm just using these little silver balls that have quite a nice hole in them. Because with the limited edition, they are slightly larger than the regular bands. And we don't want to break too many of our limited edition bands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold onto one end with my finger, giving it a little bit of tension like I always do. I'm going to pull over these first two bands, and then I'm going to make sure I pull those two bands through where that ball is. Okay? Then I'm going to pull the two bands here in the middle that are going to go on the opposite side of that ball onto the gold band. Then I need to position the ball in between those two blue navy bands. Do you see how I have it? Now we're going to do the exact same thing with this smile like we did with the last one. And we are going to grab the band and let it go through those last two. Let it loose of those two. And that is how we have our gold ball, or our gold piece smile line going through there. Now when we put our next band on, it's going to let it drop down a little bit, but with the ball in there, in between those two bands, it kind of cradles it really nicely. So let's grab our turquoise bands, and we are going to grab all three of these bands, and we're going to replace the gold and the navy and put the other end of that band on. So let's go back to the other end. And let's do the same to this end. Pull all three of those off. And then replace the gold and the navy and the opposite end of that turquoise. And now you see how that silver ball and gold band just dropped nicely. I'm going to go through one more sequence of the bands, the stitches and everything, and then I'm going to go off camera and I will finish this off. So now we just did our turquoise. Now we are going to do our navy, and this is where we're going to do our, for the first set, we're going to do our first, second, third, and fifth bands onto the navy band. So 1, 2, 3, skipping that fourth and going for, oops, the fourth wanted to come for a visit. So skipping that fourth one, leaving that one on the hook, and grabbing that fifth one and pulling it over, because that creates that nice crisscross X. And then you pull back onto the hook the turquoise, that very first turquoise that you pulled over. Now let's go on down, turn the hook around. Then we're going to put another navy on. And this one you're just going to grab the 4 that are on. Let me make sure that that navy is in the correct place. Grab the 4 that are on the hook that are left, and then reclaim or put back on that first turquoise. Okay, for this one I think I'm going to do every other gold band with a silver ball. So this one, I'm going to grab my gold band, and I'm going to pull those first 2 on, making sure they're staying in the correct place. Pull the 2 navy on, holding on to my last two, and then going in, grabbing that gold band, letting it slip through those last two, and then slipping my hook back through those last two. Last part is I'm going to put my turquoise on, gold, navy back onto the hook, go to the other end, and then gold and navy back onto the hook. Alright, I will be back to show you how to close up the bracelet. Hope you all understood how to do all those stitches. If you don't, rewind and see if you can understand how to do each one of them. Alrighty, so I have finished the bracelet all the way up until the length that I needed it for my wrist. And I did every other time with a silver bead. This one I did every smile with it's a little circle with little rhinestones around it. I just thought those were really nice and would look really sweet. So the last thing that I did was I have an empty smile, the gold ones, and that was the last stitch that I did. Now the next thing to close it up is I have two of the turquoise bands, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull every single band that's on my hook onto those two turquoise bands. And this is going to make it so that it closes up nicely and looks just like the other end. And I really like it when bracelets look the exact same way on one end as they do on the other. It's just really nice that they look the exact same way. It's just, I don't know, it's something that I like. So here is our blinged version that we did, and here is the more sky. I guess this one's still like a sky version too. We kind of thought it was like the stars, and the turquoise and the navy kind of still represent the stars of a constellation. And this is all stars and like, and this one was inspired by my bracelet. So this bracelet, Constellation, was designed by our best friend, our family member, Miss Jo, Miss 5 Kids Cause Chaos. Love her, love, love, love her. So if you decide to make this bracelet, which is great, if you would tag and hashtag 5 Kids Cause Chaos on Instagram and tag and hashtag us on Instagram. We'd love to see your renditions. We'd love to see your color schemes. We know we can't come up with all of these different color schemes. We're inspired by you. We are inspired by some of your color schemes. I know that we have told some of you that when we see your color schemes, if we make them or if we use them, we would totally give shout outs if we use them, because we cannot come up with every single color scheme that is out there. So please tag and hashtag us. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up and like, subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications when we have new videos coming out, and they will be coming out all the time. Please support our cause. You don't have to donate to our cause, but please support Rainbow Loom for a cause and Loom for a cause. I know Amanda and I are super into the causes for looming and helping children out that to understand how to loom and to donate to children who are not able to make these, or children in other countries who this is something very special to them. We have charities that are going out or bracelets that are going out to right now to India, to Haiti, to Ecuador, I believe. We have some that are going to hospitals. We have our Autism Feet Walk that is going on May 30th, that we'll be handing out thousands of Rainbowloom bracelets and also teaching students how to Rainbowloom. We just want everyone, no matter where you are, no matter how old you are, loom for a cause. Loom for someone that you think just needs a smile put on their face, just needs a loving friend. If you make them a bracelet, if you make them a figurine, if you make them anything that would make them just have warm fuzzies in their hearts. Just do it because you love it. And we just want to say have a great day. Have a blessed day. And we love all of our looming family. So on that note, I'm going to close out, and I wish everyone have a great day. So we love you all. Bye. Mwah.